This is insane. Black Sherif has had the biggest and most impactful come up ever in modern Ghanaian music history. Let me put you on game. Just look at these numbers right here. On Audiomack, which is obviously the most popular music streaming app in Ghana, just look at its numbers. These are the total combined streams for all the songs these artists have released on the platform. And would you just take a look at the difference between the number 1 spot and the number 2 spot? It's almost double. This is insane. Check this too. This is for Boomplay. Again, the difference between the number 1 and the number 2 spot is almost double. And now look at their monthly listeners on Spotify too, only surpassed by Amari and Kim Promise. And when you combine all their streams across all DSPs, excluding Apple Music because they don't show their streams publicly, this is how they stack up. This is mind-blowing, especially considering the fact that he did all of this with just one album. Man, oh man. What I'm about to say next is in no way meant as disrespect to the other artists on this list. It is only to show you just how monumental of a come-up Blacko has had. How long has Sarkodie been making music? Since 2009. That is 10 years before Blacko released his first single in 2019. And how many albums has Sarkodie had over the years? 7. EPs and Maya, singles and some Maya. And how about Shatawale? He debuted in 2004, went away, and came back in 2013, which is a whole 6 years before Blacko dropped his first single. Emu, how many albums? At least 10. EPs, and singles and second tema. Stonebwoy also debuted in 2012, which is a whole 7 years before Blacko. He has 7 albums, and I'm not even going to try and count the EPs and singles. And mind you, these 3 artists I've mentioned have had bangers upon bangers, hit songs upon hit songs. And here we have Blacko with just 1 album, with no features, no features, and less than 5 years in the game, 2 of which he was underground. Technically, Blacko has only been mainstream since 2021. And look at the numbers he's making. This is mind-blowing. I mean, I admit, Ghana lacks these professional certifying bodies who can investigate and tell you the number of singles or albums you have sold. I don't even know what music guy is doing, but these are the kind of things that we need in the industry. And if we had those, the numbers might have been different. But here's an interesting bit. Blacko's one and only album, The Villain I Never Was, is so popular on the streets. And this popularity cuts across generations. Millennials, Gen Zs, Gen Alpha, everyone is bumping this album. If you try this experiment, go out and find any random crowd and press play on the first track on The Villain I Never Was. And verily, verily, I guarantee you, people are going to be singing the songs word for word from start of the album to the finish. And what's crazier, the songs on the album are not even your typical Ghanaian bangers or hit songs. They are all hip-hop songs. This is mind-blowing. When last did we ever have that happen in modern Ghanaian history? For a non-high life or a non-hip life album to be this popular? Off the top, the ones that come close, I could say, is Sarkodie's Psychology and Kweku Smoke's Born in Hell. But the thing is, these 2 albums that I just mentioned cater to specific demographics, but not The Villain I Never Was. Everyone loves that album. I know some people are going to say that, oh, Blacko came in the streaming era and the streaming wasn't really popular during the times of the big S's and the big K's. Let me just say 2 points to counter that argument. Yes, I bet you didn't know that I was in the Writers and Masturbators Club in SHS. Debaters. Writers and debaters. Sorry. Do you know Daddy Lumba? Do you know Zika Official? Daddy Lumba came way before streaming. But look at him there. And look at him. Again. You see? Okay. Also, there are a lot of musical legends who had their prime in centuries ago. Some had their prime in the 1950s. They have been long gone. Some of their biggest fans have been long gone. But still, when you look them up on Spotify, you can see their streams visibly over there and even on YouTube. And what's more mind-blowing about all of this is the fact that he has only 1 album out. 1 album old. And he's just about to release his sophomore album. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine the sheer margin that Blacko will have in terms of numbers on other artists. The impact and what it would mean for his career. I'm sure a year from now, I might make a different video in continuation to this. And the numbers you see over here will be Another interesting thing to note is the type of features that Blacko has been getting ever since his blow up. They have all been international big shot features. Let's look at something. Yaw Tog featured Stormzy. Stonebwoy featured Stormzy. But Stormzy went out of his way to feature Blacko on his album. Isn't that interesting? RD's debut album, boom, Blacko is on it. Pastelio came out of the can, and his sophomore album, boom, Blacko is on it. First track. And what's very interesting to me is Blacko's attitude about these features. I mean, I see them as huge, very important features, but Blacko would just treat it as a regular Tuesday. I mean, Popcorn would feature Blacko, and Blacko would just post a link maybe once or twice, and he would just brush it off like it's Tuesday. I mean, Samini featured Popcorn, but Popcan went out of his way to feature Blacko. I know a lot of artists that will be vocal and celebrating all over about these types of features, but Blacko will just get them and he'll be like, we move, next one. Tell me, why not the come up high to say that? This is insane. But yeah, Montreal album no. Album never to Montreal.